Hi guys, welcome back. If you're new here, my name is Sam and I'm so glad you decided to stop by. I really hope that you decided to stick around. Let's talk about trailing plants today, guys. Some of my favorite trailing plants specifically. So I'm gonna be honest with you guys, a little disclaimer. I don't know how many times I'm gonna be saying this in the next few months, but battling spider mites. So many of my plants do not look their best right now. They're not looking their cutest. Okay, and they're a little bit shy about it, so be nice, but that's okay. We're still gonna show them love. We're still gonna give them love because this is the reality of owning a bunch of plants, a bunch of house plants, especially in the winter. This is just how it is. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into some of my very favorite trailing plants from my collection. These are in no particular order, but I am a little bit biased with the first one here. I absolutely just adore this girl. Like, she is my baby. So this is my lipstick plant, the Mona Lisa variety, I believe. So she has these beautiful, shiny, waxy green leaves. Now I have to admit that I very much so struggled with this plant for the longest time. I have the variegated lipstick plant as well, and she's not as cute, okay? She's not doing so well, if we're being honest, but that's okay. That's okay, because I also struggled with this one, and we go back and forth, honestly. We go back and forth, her and I. Like, I will get her happy, and then I'll do something that ticks her off, and she doesn't do so great for a while, and then it's just kind of like this cycle, this vicious cycle. It's fine, because she's blooming. She's blooming, guys. She has been blooming now for about a little over a month, kind of non-stop. So I got my first blooms on her, I believe, over the summer, several months ago, like early summer maybe, and she just put off a couple, like literally just a couple on one side of the plant. But I was so ecstatic, so excited, and this time, about a month ago, she decided to push out blooms all the way around the plant, many of which have died off now. Let me find a good one. But if you look right here, this is a completely new bundle of blooms coming in, and there's several new blooms coming in. So she's losing her old ones. Like, here's a couple spent blooms, and it's just so cool because they literally do look like little tubes of lipstick. Like, it's the cutest thing ever. I'm just obsessed with these blooms. And I don't know, it was like I just waited so long to get her to bloom for me. And now that she is, I don't know, I'm like so afraid that I'm gonna do something to mess it up, make her drop all her blooms and never bloom for me again. Like, look at this cute little velvet bloom. Like, do you see that, guys? It's velvet, literally. The cutest thing ever. She really needs up potted. She's still in this nursery pot that I bought her in about a year ago now. Sorry, a lot of her blooms are spent, so I'm just kind of picking them off. But she's drying out very fast, and she gets almost direct sun. Pretty much it is direct sun. She gets direct light, which has made her very happy. I believe that's the reason that she's blooming, but she's just drying out way too fast. Whenever I water, at this point, the water's just coming straight out the drainage holes. So she does have some wrinkly, dehydrated looking leaves here and there. So I really need to get on repotting her. But as I said, I just don't want to mess it up. She has quite a bit of new growth coming in as well. She's grown a lot. So I just don't want to mess it up. I'm afraid if I repot her, I'm going to tick her off and she's just not going to do well. But I think this is such a beautiful plant. I really love all of the lipstick plant varieties. I really wanted to wait until I figured out the ones that I had before I brought different varieties into my collection. But absolutely gorgeous trailing plant. I've seen massive baskets of trailing lipstick plants. They're just so beautiful. Whenever they put off these bright red blooms, it's just like, yes, I love her. Next up, remember, spider mites. Pretty much all of these plants, except for my lipstick plant that I'm showing you today, have had spider mites, and I've had to treat them. But this is actually a philodendron, and this is my philodendron lemon lime. Some of you may be thinking, that's not a trailing plant, Samantha. So this is also Philodendron lemon lime, okay? And this one is Philodendron lemon lime upright. So this one grows, as the name suggests, upright. It grows straight up from the middle of the plant. It's really a cutie as well, but that's a lemon lime upright. This is just a Philodendron lemon lime, and it's a trailer. You better not have spider mites again. Don't do it to me. Okay. So yeah, this lemon lime started out kind of similar to my upright. It started out more compact and upright, but over time she has just decided that she's gonna trail. As you can see, all of her stems just decided to spill over the side of the pot and start growing out and downwards, kind of almost like my syngoniums that start to trail. Whenever they start to trail, they just drop their little stems over the side of the pot and make their way down. I love the longer shaped leaves, and I also love the lime green. It's just so pretty. In contrast with these bright orange petioles, it's just like, yes, it definitely catches your eye for sure. This isn't a plant that I think most people would think of as a trailing plant, but it definitely can be if you want it to be. So yeah, or you could prune this plant back to encourage more growth to come in at the base of the pot and make her more bushy and full. But I really prefer this trailing look with this plant, and I just think it's so beautiful. I'm sure any one of you could have guessed it, but of course I had to include this beautiful plant. This is my Scindapsus Pictus Exotica from my friend Sarah. This is absolutely one of my favorite plants, guys. I love it. I do have the regular Scindapsus Pictus Argyrius, and then I also found, let me show you. I also found a large basket of this, which I would never find before. Like, I couldn't believe I found this at my local grocery store, but this plant was not in good shape whenever I found it. It's lost so much foliage, many vines. I had to repot it. It just hadn't been watered. It looked like months. Like, I don't know what happened, but someone was clearly neglecting it, and it just looked terrible. So I bought it, of course. I had to. I've never seen one in store before. I had to bring it home. So I bought it and brought it home, and I gave it a good soaking in my shower, washed it down, cleaned the leaves, removed a bunch of foliage and vines. She is recuperating right now, recovering. And I'm sure one day she'll be a beautiful plant, but I decided to show this one because it is a beautiful plant. My friend Sarah, back in the spring when we did our first plant swap, she sent me a cutting of this, and it's just, I love it so much. It's just grown so much. The leaves on her are massive. Look at this. They get so big, and there's so much silver on this one. It's just beautiful. I think the markings and the size of the leaves on this particular Exotica, it's just one of the most beautiful Exoticas that I think I've ever seen. And maybe I'm just biased, but I love it. It's been such a joy to grow, such an easy grower. Really, it's just a fuss-free, beautiful plant. These make gorgeous hanging baskets if you want to hang them in a macrame or something like that, which is probably what I'll eventually end up doing with one of mine, because I just think they would look so nice hanging in my window in a macrame. Any of the Scindapsus honestly make beautiful trailing plants. The only thing I don't particularly like about the Argyrius is just that they get really scraggly and kind of scrawny and bare. You really have to keep up with pruning that one, and I'm sure these ones can get the same. The Exotica can get the same as well, but with those small leaves, it's just more noticeable, I feel like, on the Argyrius, because their leaves are so small. So when they start getting leggy and kind of scraggly, you really notice it a lot more than you do with these larger leaf Scindapsus. As long as I have a YouTube channel, I'll be talking about this plant a lot because it's just fabulous. Okay, we have a big boy here. So this is a plant that I haven't shown on my channel much at all and in a very long time. So this big guy is my beautiful Cebu Blue. This is old Blue. Blue is in about a 12-inch pot. and I think he's actually outgrown it and probably needs to go in something bigger, which I have no idea what else I could put him in. Like, he already takes up so much space, guys. It's kind of crazy. But I found this at a Walmart in my hometown where my mom lives. And when I tell you I don't have plants here where I live, that I have all the plants compared to my hometown where my mom lives. Like, their Walmart, it doesn't even have a garden section. On the outdoor section, sometimes they will have just a couple hanging baskets, like a pothos or something like that. Like, they rarely ever actually have a selection of plants. But about, oh my gosh, it's been over 2 years ago. It's been probably closer to 3 years ago now. Yeah, I went in and I just like checked, and they had a basket of Cebu Blue for like $13, and I swooped this guy up, and he just grows like crazy. I've propagated him so many times. I've sent so many cuttings to friends. So he lives outside in the spring and summer, and he was facing this way, so his backside's a little bit bare. A little bit naked back there, but it's okay. From what I hear and see online, this plant can be rather difficult to get your hands on in a lot of places. And I've seen cuttings of Cebu Blue being sold online for kind of outrageous prices, guys, like a little bit ridiculous. I think people really take advantage of the fact that it's not available in a lot of areas in the US. Which is really crappy, but yeah, it's beautiful. The Cebu Blue has this really pretty blue hue to the leaves, hence the name, and it's a very vigorous grower, a very fast grower. The Cebu Blue makes such a gorgeous trailing plant. I only water this guy in this giant pot probably once a month. Not even kidding. Once a month, that's it. Obviously, he's in this massive pot, so it's going to take a lot longer for him to dry out than my other plants. But very gorgeous, one of my all-time favorite trailing plants. Definitely gives me the jungle vibes, and yeah, will forever be one of my favorites. Okay, guys, you're gonna have to look over this babe. Excuse him, because he was just beautiful literally a month ago. And he's still beautiful, you know, but he's looking a little bit rough because spider mites. Yeah. They have attacked plants that I never in a million years would think that spider mites would be the least bit interested in. It's kind of crazy, but this is actually my goldfish plant. And look at him. This is another plant that I'm just really proud of. And I have kind of like this weird bond connection with this plant because I did struggle with it for so long. It took me a really long time to figure out this plant's care, and it just wasn't happy. We went back and forth similar to my lipstick plant, and oddly enough they have kind of a similar look to them, that glossy shiny green leaf, similar even their blooms. But yeah, this is my goldfish plant. When I bought him, he was teeny. He was so small. He was not near this long. He wasn't even trailing. He was just like standing kind of like this. But I finally think I figured him out. I let his soil dry out completely before I give him a water. Now, if I go too long between waterings, I have noticed that he will start to drop leaves. So I just have to make sure that I keep up with him. I don't wait too long. He likes direct sun. He's over here in my succulent window, so he gets direct sun. He likes lots of light to dry out between waterings. I don't think he really gives a crap about humidity. He has bloomed a couple times for me this year, and the first time it made my day. The first time it was kind of like my lipstick plant. He only put off like 1 or 2 little blooms, and you know, I was so excited about it though. And then he lost those, and then he fully bloomed for me finally this summer, and I was just like, oh my gosh, I love it. They actually look like the cutest little orange goldfish you've ever seen. Like, I love it. And I just seen some blooms coming in just now, actually. Right here, I don't want to knock it off, but there's 2 little clusters of blooms trying to come in right there. I wish they were already opened up so I could show you guys how cute they are. I could have swore I seen more than that though. We have some new growth coming in right here. Very cute. Oh, okay, right here. Right there, I see 3 different little buds coming in. Very cute. I don't know, it's just, there's just something about whenever I am growing a plant and it doesn't like me very much, or I can't really make it happy, and then I finally, after so much trial and error, figure out its care, and I'm able to make it grow and bloom and just be happy in general. There's just something about it, like I instantly just bond with that plant, and I'm like, yes, you are my baby. So I can't wait until mine is a lot more full up on the top area. I love my little goldfish plant. It's the cutest little thing. Next, a Hoya. We have a Hoya, guys. This is the gorgeous Hoya Wyetii, and I do have a smaller Wyetii over my Hoya shelf. And she's cute and everything, but this one is my favorite because this was sent to me from my friend Pam from Pam's Planty Things. And yeah, I love it. I have this plant in my southern exposed window right here getting direct sun, and I did actually seem to have scorched a couple of her leaves, but otherwise she seems pretty happy. I don't know. I haven't had any more issues. Like I noticed that. It could have been from something else, I guess. I think this is such a cool Hoya, and it's such a cool trelling Hoya because the leaf shape is so, I don't know, the leaves are so long and skinny, but they also, they have like this dark rim around the edge of them, which I think is just the prettiest thing. And if you give them enough light, you can sun stress them enough that their leaves will actually turn like this really dark, deep red color. And it's just so beautiful. I don't know. But this plant was already trelling. It was already this big whenever Pam sent it to me. Mine is nowhere near this big, and it just made me really fall in love with this Hoya in particular. Obviously she's not trelling a ton just yet, but she's working on it. She has some new tendrils shooting out everywhere. It looks like they will eventually drape over the pot, so I just can't wait. I'm just patiently waiting and watching this plant grow. And doesn't she look so cute? Okay guys, I could sit here and go on and on and on all day. Like there's so many more plants, like my micans. My micans is one of my all-time favorite trelling plants, but I wanted to kind of touch on a few plants that maybe I haven't shown that much on my channel and that I do love that don't get maybe as much attention as some of my other ones. That's kind of why I didn't include things like my micans and my heartleaf philodendron and things like that I've included a lot, I feel like, on my channel. Feel free to leave me a comment and let me know what your favorite trelling plants are. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys very soon in my next one. Merry Christmas, happy holidays. I hope you guys are having a fantastic holiday season. Bye!